All right, in this episode, we are going to reveal how some of the fastest growing revenue teams are generating pipeline. These companies are growing at 200% year on year, and they're using a signal based prospecting approach, while a lot of companies are struggling with cold outbound. As we looked under the hood, we found that it boiled down to these 9 signals and how they are being used in the prospecting. And some of these are very counterintuitive. So we are going to break down every single step with a goal to reach similar result without making costly or painful mistake. So if you're running a go-to-market team and your outbound campaigns are not performing, this episode has a defined signal-based outbound playbook that you can deploy. All right, so we could see the signal-led sales motion. We wanted to understand that how you can use various signals from your target market to start your motion, outbound motion. A few of your favorite signals, given that you guys sell to product-led companies, you have a lot of intels around how product-led companies are working. So share with us 1 or 2 interesting signals that you find very good.
I think the interesting thing about product led is, the lot of people will try to use the product easily. They have easy access to the product. And in their entire user journey, there are a couple of places where you could identify intent of somebody being a power user or some interested in using the product even more. And those intents you can capture to sell to them. So one of them is, if you're seeing a surge on the login page, somebody imagine like, something like an Apollo, then there are people who just wanted to use it one time, right? So you could go in, you could use those free 25 credits or so, download that data. You are doing just one time sales or marketing campaign. You just need data of a few people. And then you get that data for free. You never come back to Apollo. That's not a good user to sell to, right? To reach out to further nurture and, hey, why don't you buy from us? Probably wouldn't be a good use of your time. On the other hand, if somebody is using the product again and again, they're logging in, they're trying to get more credits, they're trying to use the product more often, then that's a signal that, okay, this person is finding value from your product. And you could leverage this surge in their activity on the login page to identify such users and then use that signal, focus on them and sell to them. So yeah, surge on login and surge on login activity would be one of the signals.
Okay, I'll go next. Multiple signups. I find it always intriguing to notice that a lot of times company has multiple people signing up, and if there is a way for you to track the sign up to the domains and map, then you could find that probably 3-4 users of the same company have signed up, and probably even their boss has signed up, and that aggregated data is a good signal that the company is finding value, and that can in turn be used by the sales team to start a outreach, and that can be referred in the outreach as well, that hey, we see that many people are signing up, so would you be interested to explore these features?
On your marketing website, which is like publicly facing, there are a lot of key intent pages which could give you signals of somebody being interested in your product. One of them is the pricing page, right? If somebody is actively accessing your pricing page, that indicates that this person is considering the cost of different plans or maybe comparing it to plans of other similar tools, and they are like more bottom of the funnel or nearing a purchase decision. So if you're seeing activity from someone on a pricing page, I think that's a good signal to consider and then leverage it for sales outreach. How to de-anonymize or identify the people accessing the pricing page, we already have a video on that. You can check that out.
All right, so the next one will be case study page activity. I find it interesting because when somebody is visiting your case study page, he is no more just interested in feature. He has understood the feature, he has understood the benefit, and he now wants to see that whether he has some of his peers or same similar type of industries have used your product or services, and what sort of ROIs have they got. So it clearly the person has gone down the funnel And that could be a good point to go and pass on the signal to sales team so that they can also use this as a outreach reference. Again, the tricky part is always remains as how are you tracking them, and for that we have a couple of solution. One could be that IPD anonymization. It could be person identity based resolution. All these tools are there, and you can use those to track. And once you have that, you can pass on the signals to sales team.
Yeah. The next we have on the list of signals is G2 when it comes to sales, especially in B2B SaaS or any kind of SaaS. Like, how can we ignore G2, right? So, almost every business, SaaS business, has a G2 product page, and there are a lot of reviews that are posted over there from customers and users. And buyers refer to these reviews to help compare between different products. And that is a signal you can use. The caveat here is you need to buy a G2's plan worth a couple of $1,000s to get those signals, to see which companies are comparing your product page with another product's page. So if you buy their plan, you'll be able to see that data. But this activity itself is a good signal that somebody is closer to making a purchase decision, and it's reviewing tools is part of the decision making process, right? So yeah, G2 product comparison is another good signal you should consider. Side note on this, if you're trying to use review sites to advertise to people who are on these pages, in case of G2, you would still need to buy a plan to be able to advertise on your category pages and all. But on the other hand, other review sites like Capterra, you could do it for a much cheaper price. You could just use, they have a CPC based advertisement. You would be paying only for the clicks you get. You don't need to buy a plan first to be able to advertise on the platform. So this is something you can consider.
Engagement on your webinar. So in case you are having webinar, the participants are the first level of intent because they've shown interest towards a topic that probably relates to your product. But in case somebody is asking a lot of questions, somebody is really interested about features, so on, if there is a way for you to figure that out, that can be a great signal for sales team to reach out afterwards. And you can do it with a tool called Goldcast. Okay, so they help you with a lot of analytics around your webinars or around any sort of event, online event. So you literally see who have the most engagement, participated in most of the virtual booths and so on. Next one, major events. Most of the time, events necessitate some sort of action inside a company. So if it's a new launch, then a company might need marketing support for launching a product. If it's an M&A activity, then the company might need some sort of operational help to streamline the two companies. If it's a new market expansion, they may need new sales capabilities. So these are great signals to look into. So if you have a target market which is roughly say around more than say less than 5,000, okay, so you cannot outreach to them. You cannot have cold outreach to them every month. You'll burn through your target market. So the better way is to keep a tab on what's happening in the market, and then whenever there is a signal, just go and chase that signal and make a relevant outbound, which ties back to the event, and then that can create warm opportunities. And again, these are not generic cold email because you're tracking an event. It's more relevant, and the person on the other side understand that you've done your research and you're reaching with some sort of intent. The next is digital sales room. Now, the digital sales room is getting a lot of traction these days. So essentially, in simple words, what does this mean is after the demo call is done, instead of sending email and adding proposal or your feature documents or pricing documents, you put it on a sort of an intranet and share that link of that intranet or to the, I wouldn't say intranet, it's a portal, dedicated portal, and you share that portal link to the person. Now, the good part of that is as the person scrolls through the website, clicks on different parts, or maybe share that with his boss or other decision makers, you have a way to see whether it's just at the person's level, or it has reached to more parts of the company. And that can also be a signal to see that, okay, a person just clicked your proposal once and left, versus a person who is forwarding it to his manager is spending 5 minutes on your pricing, and then he sends it to the VP, and VP also logs in and looks into this thing. This is a clear signal that they are interacting with your proposal, pricing, and feature comparisons, testimonials, and so on. Everything is in one portal. So that's a great signal for your sales team to outreach.
Sharing another one, again, this is also based on usage from users more relevant to product-led companies. So within your customers, you would see that there are some power users who are using the product more efficiently, regularly, or like they're like accessing key features. So if you see a high usage in those key features that your product offers, then that's a signal. That usage might indicate a deeper engagement or reliance on your product, which signals that it's an opportunity for further engagement and upselling. So yeah, you could consider that as a good signal to expand the account. The next one is if your target accounts have had a new decision maker, somebody new joined the company. I think it's very easily visible on LinkedIn when, some new exec is hired. You could check that on the company page. There are other tools that help you track that as well. So, when there are changes in key positions within your target company, like a new decision maker or a new influencer has joined, I think that's a signal for that you should consider for re-engaging with that account or hitting that account up with a new sales approach.